Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today we are doing a 12-team half PPR 3 wide receiver draft from the 12th spot. Now, if you guys could graciously go down below and click that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot to me. It's going to mean a lot to you because I want to help you guys dominate your draft, dominate the regular season, dominate the postseason, and win your fantasy football trophy. Now, if you don't already have a fantasy football trophy, a ring, a belt, whatever the fuck you want, go check down below my sponsor, fantasybros.com. And if you use code Notorious at checkout, you get 5% off. So let's get right into the video and the draft. So like I said, it's a 12-team half PPR draft with 3 wideouts. So let's resume the draft because I accidentally started it. So it's Saquon with the first pick, followed by AK, CMC, Zeke, Devontae Adams, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, James Conner, Michael Thomas. So we are on the swing here. So we could go with 2 elite wide receivers, but I'd much rather go with a more balanced approach and get 1 good running back and 1 good wide receiver, and then load up on some wide receivers in the next couple of rounds. So we will go with Nick Chubb here, best running back available in my opinion. Besides maybe Mixon, I like Mixon a lot too, but I think that Nick Chubb will probably finish slightly higher than Mixon in the end of the day. I would find it hard to avoid Mixon at this pick, but I think that at the end of the day, Chubb may be better. Now, you can't go wrong with either of these guys, but I think Nick Chubb. Well, actually, I would probably pick Mixon if this was a real draft, if I'm being honest, because I think Mixon is safer. Nick Chubb obviously has Kareem Hunt fucking sniffing up his ass. Who knows if Kareem Hunt will actually get work week 9 or 10? I don't believe so, but some people do. And I think Joe Mixon is a safer pick. Now, his offense not as good, but he does have that defined running role and that pass catching role. He's probably going to catch 4 or 5 balls every single game, get you a nice 75, 85 yards every single game, and potentially score touchdowns like Joe Mixon here. After doing Joe Mixon, now we're going to go with the best wideout available, and in my opinion, that is Tyreek Hill out of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you're someone who doesn't really like taking risks, I would just go with Juju. I think Juju is the much safer option. He'll probably potentially even score more points, but Tyreek Hill has that big game potential. He could score you 40 points and absolutely win you a week. So I'm gonna go with Tyreek Hill here. After going with Tyreek Hill, Todd Gurley came out the board, followed by Nick Chubb, Odell Beckham Jr., Travis Kelsey, Dalvin Cook, Damian Williams, Mike Evans, Juju, Pat Mahomes, Kerryon Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, Antonio Brown, Adam Thielen, George Kittle, Keenan Allen, Aaron Jones, Devontae Freeman, David Montgomery, T.Y. Hilton, Josh Jacobs, Chris Carson. So the first tight end off the board at the 2-5 was Travis Kelsey, pretty typical. Pat Mahomes, first quarterback off the board the second round. Typically, I don't like drafting quarterback that early, but that is about where Pat Mahomes goes, so you need to consider that if you want Pat Mahomes. George Kittle, second tight end off the board at the 3-4. Typically, Kelsey will be gone the first 2 rounds, and then Kittle and Ertz soon to follow in the third and fourth round. So now I would like to load up on some wide receiver talent at this spot. Now, I already have a guy that has huge big game potential, just like, in my opinion, Amari Cooper does. But Amari Cooper is going to disappoint you a lot more of the time than make you happy. Whereas Tyreek Hill, maybe he'll score 10 points on his down game, but he'll score 40 points on his best game or 30 points. He is crazy. So I'm going to go with the best wide receiver available. And right here, I believe it is Stephon Diggs, Minnesota wide receiver. Last year, he was pretty solid. Towards the end of the year, he was getting even more work with the new offensive coordinator that they hired. Now I think that Stephon Diggs this year, while maybe Thielen will finish better, they'll both be great. Kirk Cousins with the second year in the offense should be better, so I like Stephon Diggs here. So after with Stephon Diggs, now it's our pick again, and we're going to go with 3 wide receivers. In my opinion, the best wide receiver still available is Robert Woods, LA Rams wide receiver. Now they have 3 wide receivers on their team that are pretty good. At reports out of camp are that Cooper Kupp is playing amazing. Now I don't love Cooper Kupp due to that ACL injury, but those are just the reports out of camp. Who knows if that's necessarily true? But Robert Woods should be the most safe option on the team. Cook's pretty safe too. I like Woods and Cooks, but I prefer Woods in pretty much every situation. So after with Robert Woods, now we have 3 wide receivers on our team and 1 running back. So after with Robert Woods, Julian Edelman came off the board, followed by Chris Godwin, Zach Ertz, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Marlon Mack, Derrick Henry, Sony Michelle, Mark Ingram, Kenny Galladay, Cooper Kupp, Philip Lindsay, AJ Green, DJ Moore, Tevin Coleman, Tyler Lockett, Miles Sanders, Calvin Ridley, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Miller, and OJ Howard. So 4 tight ends already off the board and 3 quarterbacks, pretty typical. as of right now. So now we need to secure a running back, and one of the better running backs that I like in PPR has fallen to us, and that is James White, running back of the New England Patriots, not the New Orleans Saints. He is a running back that's pretty much a wide receiver. Now he's amazing in PPR for that reason. He's going to get 6, 7, potentially 8 targets every single game, come down with 40 yards, and you already got like a free 10-point floor from him there, and then maybe he'll run the ball, run for 25 yards with his few attempts, and be pretty great. So I like him here at running back. So since we went so running or wide receiver heavy, I might consider going 2 running backs here, back to back, and then snagging some more wide receivers slightly. Because in a 3 wide receiver league, you do need more wide receivers, obviously, because you could potentially be starting 4 every single week. So I do like to get more wide receivers in this type of format, whereas typically I'm all about getting so many running backs. So I'm just going to go with another running back here that I think has some high upside, and that is Austin Eckler. Now, if Melvin Gordon misses 8 to 10 games, Austin Eckler will be amazing for those games. But when Melvin Gordon comes back, Austin Eckler is still the pass catching back on that team. He'll still get work, whereas Justin Jackson, who goes later, will be irrelevant once Melvin Gordon steps onto the field. So we're going to go with Austin Eckler here. So after we go with Eckler, Tyler Boyd came off the board, followed by Mike Williams, Alshon Jeffrey, Kenyon Drake, Evan Ingram, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Robbie Anderson, Latavius Murray, Tariq Cohen, Jared Cook, Matt Ryan, Al Robinson, Darius Geis, Christian Kirk, Hunter Henry, Will Fuller, Geronimo Allison, Curtis Samuel, Darrell Henderson, Andrew Luck, and Drew Brees. So now we are going to go with likely, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks already off the board out of the 12 teams, but we're perfectly fine to wait. So we're going to go with a wide receiver here that I like with a bunch of upside in my opinion. And this guy is kind of unsafe, but I do love picking him, and that is Sammy Watkins. Now, Sammy Watkins is one of those guys where he could disappoint you. He may have burned you in the past when he was on Buffalo, but right now he's on Kansas City. He's probably the wide receiver 2 on the team, and even though he's had a slow start to camp, I believe that he will end up playing amazing this season. He played great in the playoffs for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think that they will continue to use him in that type of a way where he got 100 yards. That's with Tyreek playing, with Damian Williams, with Travis Kelce, with Pat Mahomes, the whole crew, and I like Sammy Watkins here. So I was going with Sammy Watkins. I think it's safe to say that we should probably pull the trigger on a tight end here to just get the best tight end available. Now, I know a lot of people are disappointed because the reports came out that there's no plan to increase Vance McDonald's snaps. But he's never going to play the full game. There's never going to happen. Of course, blah, 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 blah. He ends up seeing the majority of the time at the tight end. His only real competition are these other idiots that they don't even need. So we're not going to look into it too much. Vance McDonald will still be great. He may not see potentially 100 targets, but I didn't think he was going to see that anyways. I thought he'd be around 60 or 70, come down with a few touchdowns, and be pretty solid every single week, so I like Vance McDonald still. Anyways. So after going with Vance McDonald, Rashad Penny came at the board, followed by Jordan Howard, Mr. Kareem Hunt, who you should not draft, Rolls-Royce Freeman, Carson Wentz, Dante Pettis, Cam Newton, Jared Goff, MVS, Josh Gordon, the savior of the universe. Now, if you noticed, Josh Gordon the past couple videos has been going around the 12th round, now in the 8th round, so he is moving up. After Flash Gordon was selected, Marvin Jones came at the board, followed by D.D. Westbrook, Eric Ebron, Chicago Bears, Russell Wilson, Kalen Ballage, Larry Fitz, LaShawn McCoy, David Njoku, Peyton Barber, Sterling Shepard, Roe Joe. So currently, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 quarterbacks already off the board. This guy has 2. Another team doesn't have 1 along with us. So we'll still wait. So right here, I'd like to get one more running back before I go on another wide receiver getting spree. So I'm going to snag Duke Johnson here. Duke Johnson has a lot of value on Houston. Now, he does have that hamstring injury that he's dealing with. Status unclear for week 3 of the preseason. He should be back by week 1, and he will be in probably a 60-40 split with Lamar Miller. I think he will get a lot of that pass-catching work on the team, so I like Duke Johnson here. After one with Duke, now it's time to get a wide receiver here, and then we'll go with the quarterback in the 11th round because I still like the quarterback options that will likely be here in the 11th round. So we're going to go with an upside pick here. Now, I know that DK Metcalf is doubtful for week 1. It's up in the air. He's having surgery on his knee. Could that end up being something that completely derails his season? It could be. But I still like the value of him here in the 10th round. I think that DK Metcalf could be the wide receiver 2 on the team, see a bunch of targets. Even though the Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are a run-heavy team, I think that DK Metcalf, as such a big body, will have huge games and huge play potential. And on a bye week, I wouldn't mind filling him in as maybe my flex and just hoping to ride that one game where he's amazing. So I like his value here. especially if he can stay healthy. So after one, DK Metcalf, Kyler Murray came at the board, followed by AP, Carlos Hyde, Corey Davis, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Samuels, Emmanuel Sanders, Jags D. So don't draft the defense this early. Famous James, Phillip Rivers, LA Rams, Deshaun Jackson, Devin Singletary, James White, Delaney Walker, Matt Breida, Austin Hooper, Alexander Madison, Dante Moncrief, Damian Harris, Lamar Jackson, Darwin Thompson. So right here, we have to pull the trigger on a quarterback, and so I'm just going to go with the safest option on the board. Now, I do like Josh Allen, but I think Dak Prescott is the safest option. He's been a top 12 quarterback every single year he's been in the league, and that's for 3 years. He's rushed for 6 touchdowns every single year. I think Dak Prescott's very safe here, so that's who I would go with. Even with Zeke being gone. Now, if Zeke's gone for a while, that will probably derail a lot of what I like in Dak Prescott. And now I'll happily go with another wide receiver. We're calling it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers, 4 running backs, which is fine. So we'll just get another wide receiver here. And we're going to go with one that has a lot of value, in my opinion. Maybe not at the beginning of the year, but in a couple of games. Once he gets healthy, I think Kiki Kuti will be a top option for the Houston Texans. Will be a guy that a lot of fantasy experts do like, but his injury kind of moved him down in the draft board. He was typically going around the 8th, 9th round. Now moving all the way down to the 12th, I see extreme value in Kiki Kuti once he gets back. And we all know on this channel that Will Fuller is injury prone. And if Will Fuller ends up getting hurt, Kiki Kuti will be the number 2 on the team, and they'll give him even more value. So we love Kiki Kuti here. So after with Kiki Kuti, N'Keal Harry came on the board, followed by Tyrell Williams, Big Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Baltimore Ravens, LA Chargers, TJ Hawkinson. Oh, I forgot to say who this video was for. This video is for David T. He requested it. Shout out to you if you made it this far. My bad for not saying it at the beginning. So, Tom Brady, Ravens, Chargers, TJ Hawkinson, Anthony Miller, Golden Tate, Justin Jackson, Justice Hill, Trey Burton, Jameson Crowder, Michael Gallup, John Brown, Kirk Cousins, Greg Zuerlein, Tony Pollard, Vikings, Jordan Reed, Cleveland Browns, Devin Funchess. So now we're going to go with yet another wide receiver here. Unless the running back value is good here. And there is one good running back here that I like, so I think I'd just take him here, and that is Dion Lewis. Now, Dion Lewis is the pass-catching back on the Tennessee Titans. As you may know, Derrick Henry has 0 hands. He's gotten like 18 receptions or 16 receptions every single year he's been in the league. He is fucking feet for hands or something. He just can't catch the ball. So we like Dion Lewis here, the pass catching back, or could be seeing even more work than we think. Because in my opinion, Derrick Henry really ain't all that good. He had 3, 4 good games last year. Really was irrelevant the whole rest of the year. And Dion Lewis was great. So I like Dion Lewis here. So after with Dion Lewis, now it's time to get another wideout, and I'm just going to go with a very safe option here, in my opinion, and that is Marquise Goodwin. Now, he will still be viewed as a starter, and if he's a starter on the 49ers, I think that he will have some value. Now, we know Jimmy Garoppolo loves throwing the ball to Marquise Goodwin while Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, so I think Marquise Goodwin's pretty much a steal in the 14th round if he ends up being like the wide receiver 1 or 2 on the team, with Pettis seeming to be left in the dust. I like Marquise Goodwin here. Starting with Marquise Goodwin, Justin Tucker the fucker came at the board, followed by G-Reg, Third Leg Olsen, Harrison Bucker, Meek Cole, Hardman, Jimmy G-Spot, Mark Andrews, Will Lutz, Ito Smith, Mike Davis, Houston Texans, Malcolm Brown, Stephen Gostkowski, Kyle Fairbairn, Jimmy Graham, Jake Elliott, Patriots, Mitch Trubisky, Giorgio Trevecchio, Robbie Gould, Dallas Cowboys, Badgley, Eagles. Now it's time to get our defense. So the way you're going to draft the defense is you're going to go on Google, okay? You're going to type in NFL schedule week 1, find a defense playing against a shitty offense, and they already took the defenses that I like, which are the Cowboys and the Eagles, and the Browns are already gone, so we're just going to have to click through a bunch of these to find. Okay, the Denver Broncos are playing the Oakland week 1, so we would go with them. After we went with the Broncos, so you want to find a defense that's playing against a shitty offense week 1, okay? And then week 2, you drop them and add a new team. It's that simple. I don't know if you guys understood that, but that is the philosophy. So now we're going to go with the best kicker available, so we'll go with Mason Crosby. After with Mason Crosby, Kyle Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer, count the board, followed by Randall Cobb, Deebo Samuel, CJ Anderson, Dallas Cowboys, Andy Isabella, Dante Foreman, Devontae Parker, Dan Bailey, Josh Allen, and Matthew Stafford. So our finishing lineup is at quarterback, Dak Prescott. Our 2 running backs are Mixon and James White. Our 3 wideouts are Tyreek Hill, Stefon Diggs, Robert Woods. Our tight end is Vance McDonald. Our wide receiver slash running back slash tight end, aka the flex, is Austin Eckler. Our kicker is Crosby. Our defense is the Broncos, and our bench is comprised of Sammy Watkins, Duke Johnson, DK Metcalf, Kiki Cootie, Dion Lewis, and Marquise Goodwin. So thank you guys all for watching. If you did end up enjoying this video, please go down below, click that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. I love each and every one of you guys. It really means a lot that you guys have been showing all the support. Goodbye, guys. I love you all.